the hypest topic of the week, the Morbius trailer dropped, and I know Mitch is dying to talk about this one.
Well, you're breaking up a little bit.
I actually thought it was really funny in the fact that one, they've released a photo, then another photo
They did not.
Oh,
release
they did
that
not
photo.
release those shit. Those leaked.
That photo was leaked.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, two
It was not
photos-
supposed to be leaked, but someone
Someone said I'm gonna ruin their whole career.
someone got trusted, and that person won't get trusted again. So
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because here we are. We finally got the trailer, and first thing in the morning, you were waiting for the trailer. They forgot that the Oscar nominations were coming, so they delayed the trailer.
That was amazing on Sony's part.
Then you get bombarded by your people asking your thoughts. So your shill worked. People are actually talking about Morbius.
So, here's the thing. I want
see,
to.
that's a bigger problem in itself. There's so many ableists out there. Stop enabling.
Oh no, I'm the villain here. So, okay, so in the trailer, you know, I'm a Morbius fan. They do have the idea of who Michael Morbius is and how he gets his powers. It's more or less all there with a slight Sony twist. Like they straight up took a scene from Batman Begins and Dracula Untold, and they're like, okay, so
yeah.
there's got to be bats surrounding him, and
I mean, it's literally Catwoman's origin.
yeah, that a little bit too. I mean, like they're gonna attack him. It's gonna like infuse with his blood. He's experimenting because he has a rare genetic disease. That all checks out. It's interesting to see how they're building Michael Morbius up, and I think they got the characterization down. Which, again, as a Morbius fan, I like that they're not like venoming this too much. Like it seems like
That
this
we can
is
see.
yeah, it seems like this is more comic accurate, which I like. But at the same time, the biggest thing everybody's going to want us to talk about, there's obviously that's got to be the Vulture Michael Keaton. There's no way it's somebody else. Like
I hope it's someone else.
I do too, but
It's not gonna be, but I hope it's someone
Yeah.
else.
Here's the thing,
So-
though. Like, you look at his outfit. He was in jail the last time we saw him, so we don't know when this actually takes place in the storyline.
well, it's got to be after Far From Home because the murderer thing.
Yeah.
But
So-
how is he? Is he out of jail? He's in a facility where he's a scientist? Because that doesn't look like a jail. It looks like a high tech.
I imagine the movie's because you see Morbius in like the orange jumpsuit, so he's obviously
Yeah.
going to prison as well. So obviously they just shove everyone in the same place. So I imagine we're going to see him break out in this one. It's going to be after Far From Home.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Well, it's got to be
What I-
multiple time periods as well because of the genetic
Yeah,
disease
yeah.
and experience. So they're going to jump around like what 3 or 4 maybe.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just want to know like what costume Peter Parker's gonna show up in because of that one
If
picture
he shows up
of
in the
PS4
Raimi suit, it's
Raimi.
not canon.
Yeah, he's gonna
If
show
it's
up in
that
Raimi suit.
100%.
Well, remember there was heavy rumors suggesting that part of reshoots and rewrites that they wanted was to add Spider-Man in. Now, this is the Sony thing. Whether they get Tom Holland for Venom 2 and maybe they can do something on the set of that to work it in here, who the hell knows because it's Sony. The bigger question is, again, what is happening though? Because none of it makes sense. Like, let's say, and there's a pretty good case to back it up that when this trailer was being finalized in the visual effects, that it was during the dispute time with, Disney. So they didn't use Tom Holland or anything because it was like in the middle of that, and it was like, oh, it's done. We'll just put this out.
Do you really think they would have been working on this trailer that far out?
I mean, the visual effects
That
for the
seems
movie,
like-
yeah.
I mean, the VFX, sure, but the actual editing of the trailer?
I mean, it's Sony. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
I mean, 'cause
they
it's
don't know what they're
That's
doing.
like 6 months difference. Like,
True.
that's a long time to work on the trailer.
Yeah, it's like even in the beginning of the trailer, it's kind of funny because it was in association with Marvel logo, and
Right.
then like for the studio that brought you, the Spider-Man movies and Venom.
Yeah,
like,
talk about taking credit for someone else's work.
Well,
It's
like,
like, hey, we
Armin
did this
said,
thing.
he's like, it's because they distributed. So technically, they
Yeah.
are the ones who brought it to you. They may not have touched it, but they brought it to you. It's like a waiter. A waiter will give you your food, but they did not make it.
Now imagine if the waiter took credit for the chef's work. That's
I was going to say, it's literally the delivery boy taking credit for the takeaway.
Yeah.
It's just,
Well,
it's just
some
like, I'd made this.
though, in at least here, some delivery people do make the pizzas here. So.
Right, it's the Domino's delivery guy.
Right.
Taking credit for what.
So, with that in mind, I mean, here's what kind of gets me. Let's say, hypothetically, or he probably does, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to have to get a new suit when he jumps on over, right? And obviously in the third movie, he's going to have a new suit anyway, so whatever. Couldn't Sony have at least been like, hey, Insomniac, we know you have 10 trillion concept arts for one of these suits. Give us one to slap on the wall.
Well, why the
No, it's easier to Google, though.
Literally, they Googled and horizontal flipped an image.
I was going to say Google and flip, like, it's so bad.
And now here's the thing, too. Now you have all of the negative, like, aura people that you may like something, but because it's not the Raimi version, you are the worst person on Earth.
Oh, Spider-Man Twitter has been
Don't mention the Raimi Brigade.
I was going to say the Spider-Man Twitter has just, and it's actually just Spider-Man Online has been all over, like, in disagreement. Well, of course, it's another Spider-Man thing. But regardless of what people think, it is Tom Holland's, that's what they're referencing. Like, as clear as day, they're trying to backdoor into the MCU, which
is weird.
And I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
Like, let's just look at it this way. It's the Netflix.
Yup.
You have a Venn diagram of what's canon and what's not, and in the middle of that Venn diagram is Spider-Man.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, well, how are they going to proceed with it? Because, like,
in the same way Netflix did. It's like, we'll mention it, but they ain't going to mention us.
Do you think Sony can legally, in Morbius, be like, oh, look, there's Avengers Tower? They clearly can't. Like,
I mean, Avengers Tower doesn't exist, so it's not a problem.
Or whatever the building was, because they can't put it in the
skyline. Seeing as they own that new building.
Oh.
So, like, here's something that I can see Sony doing. That picture is the only reference of Spider-Man you get in the entire movie.
Well,
apart from Keaton, because you're not going to have Vulture in there and not mention.
What I can see them doing it. I could see them not even calling him Vulture, saying his name. He's just there making plot points, making very subtle, like,
I'm telling you.
I'm a bird.
It's going to be Aldrich Thomas.
I'm a bird.
Aldrich Thomas the parrot. That's it. It's
it's going to...
See, why not just say Birdman?
Bird, yeah, it's Birdman.
I like, that's how I feel like it's going to be. It's like... Michael Keaton's not gonna say I'm a vulture. They'll be like, "What are you here for?" I was stealing some things with a big wingspan, like some BS God. Like that.
Some Gotham-worthy line of a nod at the camera and laugh.
And then, like, we're never gonna see Spider-Man. It's just only gonna be his pictures around, and people being like, "He's a murderer."
From what can be now confirmed, because the same source that says Spider-Man was gonna have a poster on the wall in a trailer. They said we're definitely getting J.K. Simmons back to be doing those reports on the radio and TV talking about Spider-Man. So
you'll see Holland's face.
Yeah, I'm just like, couldn't they get the MCU render instead of the Raimi one?
I mean, you would have thought the fact that they got a game that they own, took a screenshot of a suit that, you know, the Holland suit is in that game.
It is.
You already went to the game in the first
both versions.
Just take either one.
I bet you the person thought that was the right outfit. And they're like, "Oh, it's this Spider-Man one, right? I mean, here, click there,
I
go."
bet after all, like, if you really want to know, the Raimi Brigade, like, pestered Insomniac so much every day. Where's the suit? Where's the suit?
Yeah,
where's the suit?
until
Where's the suit? Until Christmas came, and then they gave it to him.
So
I mean, that suit was coming.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And it was just legal things. And I'm like, I'm trying to understand what the process of thinking for this was and how it got in there. It's like, and even without
Rothman, there was no thinking.
Yeah, actually. And it just...
this is a Rothman move.
It just raises more questions as well. Like, questions without any answers.
It raises questions that shouldn't need to be asked.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, you haven't really got to ask them because it's kind of obviously just goofed up and It's just a poster there.
Yep.
But it's just one of those Sony things.
Yeah. And make no mistake, I know people are trying to be like, oh, Spider-Man 3 Sinister Six. No, it's not.
I mean, it could be.
Sony has been developing that standalone Sinister Six, and even in October and November, interviews with Amy Pascal, she's like, when Drew Goddard is ready, I'm ready for him to direct that movie. I think I know exactly what they're doing, and once he jumps over into the Sony solo films, that's when we're getting the Sinister Six. I don't think they're going to let Marvel Studios do it.
I'd have said that if they put Morbius in an MCU canon movie, that would be more what they want. So, like, the Sinister Six is clearly going to be in the Spider-Man movies. And unless it's the third, like, the second movie for the New Deal,
so
which
then,
it could very well be.
Then who do
like,
you have?
You're gonna...
Like,
who do you have? You have Vulture, you have a Shocker, you have Mysterio, Morbius, Venom, and someone else.
Do you think
whoever's
Feige would willingly add Venom and Morbius into the next?
I think
Spider-Man
if Feige wants to keep Spider-Man in these movies going, yeah, he does.
Retroactively, we're adding Venom to the Watchathon. Then, oh boy.
Well,
I mean, you could watch it without that. But...
I will.
I will.
Here's the thing, though. Do you think that Feige has to be the one who bends over?
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like Sony is at the point that they're probably pushing the lines.
Yeah, but Sony has the high ground here.
They do.
They own the cinematic IP for that. Or the IP.
Whatever agreement Feige made to keep Spider-Man in for 2 more appearances went just to please MCU fans so the story doesn't get dropped out of nowhere. He clearly had to bend over backwards. That's unfortunate, but it's like...
I mean, here's the thing, like, it depends how much control does Feige have on the Sony ones, or the in association ones. Because if they start listening to him going forward... No, because Disney have a financial stake in it now, so it's not going to be like as bad as Venom, I imagine. Morbius is still probably going to, because this movie looks crap. But I reckon like Venom 2, like a Morbius 2 and whatever else they do, you're probably going to have a bit more connective tissue in there.
There's going to be a Morbius 2?
I mean, this is going to make money, let's be honest.
Yeah, it is.
Venom made money purely based on the fact that they kept debating people.
Like, can Blade just like kill him after the first one?
I mean, sure, why not? That's another thing. Yeah, I bet you'll get Morbius and Blade.
Oh, Lord, no, please. I can't.
Which is really unfortunate because Jared Leto working with anyone else is really like poor other person.
I mean, we'll see how... I mean, I think it's going to depend on the success of Morbius, really, and... If Morbius is a huge success, Kevin Feige will be like, look, let's do this. Let's just get it done and keep Spider-Man in for another 8 movies or whatever, and we'll work together.
So it's not going to make $1 billion, but you'll make money.
Oh, yeah, totally. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes like Ant-Man 1 money, where we're like, oh, wow, that's actually going to be a big deal, isn't it? Like,
hey, Apple, can you just buy Sony already?
That would only work if Apple got rid of the Columbia Pictures name.
Yeah.
If Columbia Pictures stays around, then they'd keep the rights. Yeah,
it'd be like when Fox was bought, and they're obviously scrapping Constantine Films, which owned Fantastic Four and such. So it's legality. But yeah, Morbius. I assume what do we got? Like 4 months, 5 months till release?
Not long enough.
Not long enough till release. Okay.
So how many more trailers do you guys think we might get?
2.
1.
I'm gonna say 2.
And you'll get the tickets on sale, and that's about it, I reckon.
Well, okay, so I'm counting Special Look as a trailer as well, kind of like what Black Widow recently did. So,
see, I don't count that. Fair enough.
All right, so yeah, 1 more. Then 1 more Go Home trailer. So yeah. But yeah.
Literally, Sony, go home.
Sony, get out of here. Oh, okay.
Please.
So, I mean,
take your Catwoman Underworld movie with you. No.
Sure. I mean, I'm assuming we'll talk more about Morbius once we know what's happening with Venom 2, which... I don't know. Nobody knows.
Venom 2's got everything going for it with Andy Serkis at the minute. And obviously, Feige having a stake in that movie.
True.
It could be decent.
It could be.
That all depends on Sony.
And how much money they're willing to spend on a wig for Harrelson this time around.
Hopefully none.
Just get him bald, because that would make more sense.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, So thank you for taking the time to watch that video. If you guys would like more content that we offer here for channel members, which you guys can check out in the little join button down below, we do offer additional content, such as exclusive podcasts and topic discussions, our gaming podcast, Star Wars TV series reviews, Marvel show reviews, DC Universe and CW reviews. We offer personal vlogs, backlog reviews of TV shows and movies, video game topics and Q&As, and of course, in one of our best tiers, we offer audio commentaries on TV shows and movies, along with a bunch of other stuff you guys can check out just by clicking that join button and seeing what is on offer.